Hello, friends. Today's topic is pattern recognition. What is pattern? Pattern is everything around in this digital world. A pattern can either be seen physically or it can be observed mathematically by applying algorithms. Example, the color on the clothes, speech pattern, etc. In computer science, a pattern is represented using vectors, feature values. Pattern is the automated recognition of patterns and regularities in data. Pattern recognition is the process of recognizing patterns by using machine learning algorithm. Pattern recognition can be defined as the classification of data based on knowledge already gained or on statistical information extracted from the patterns and their representation. One of the important aspects of the pattern recognition is its application potential. For example, speech recognition, speaker identification, multimedia document recognition, automatic medical diagnosis. In a typical pattern recognition application, the raw data is processed and converted into a form that is amenable for a machine to use. In pattern recognition involves classification and cluster of patterns. In classification, an appropriate class label is assigned to a pattern based on an abstraction that is generated using a set of training pattern or domain knowledge. Classification is used in supervised learning. Clustering generated a partition of the data which helps decision making, the specific decision making activity of interest to us. Clustering is used in an unsupervised learning. Features. Features may be represented as continuous, discrete, or discrete binary variables. A feature is a function of one or more measurements computed so that it quantifies some significant characteristics of the object. For example, consider our face, then eyes, ears, nose, etc. are features of the face. A set of features that are taken together form the feature vectors. For example, in the for example of face, if all the features eyes, ear, nose, etc. taken together, then the sequence is feature vector eyes, ears, nose. Feature vector is the sequence of features represented as a d-dimensional column vector. In case of speech, MFCC mel frequency capstral coefficient is the spectral feature of the speech. Sequence of first 13 features form feature vector. Pattern recognition possesses the following features. First is pattern recognition system should recognize familiar pattern quickly and accurate. Recognize and classify unfamiliar objects. Accurately recognize shape and objects from different angles. Identify patterns and objects even when partly hidden. Recognize pattern quickly with ease and with automaticity. Training and learning in pattern recognition. Learning, basically, if you're talking about pattern recognition, so you must aware of what is training and what is learning. See, if you have a data, first you have to learn what type of data is you have available and how to train your data so that they give the output correctly. So learning is a phenomenon through which a system gets trained and becomes adaptable, give result in an accurate manner. So learning is the most important phase as how well the system perform on the data provided to the system depends on which algorithms used on the data. Entire data set is divided into two categories, one which is used in training the model, that is training set, and the other data is used in testing the model after training, that is testing set. Training set. Training set is used to build a model. It consists of the set of images which are used to train the system. Training rules and algorithm used give relevant information on how to associate input data with output decision. The system is trained by applying these algorithms on the dataset. All the relevant information is extracted from the data and results are obtained. Generally, 80% of the data sets is taken for training data. Testing sets. Testing data is used to test the system. It is the set of data which is used to verify whether the system is producing the correct output after being trained or not. Generally, 20% of the data of the data set is used for testing. Testing data is used to measure the accuracy of the system. For example, a system which identifies which category a particular flower belongs to it is able to identify 7 categories of flowers correctly out of 10 and rest others wrong, then the accuracy is 70%. So this is a data. First you have to training the data, then to build the system, then testing data and to check the correctness of the system. A real-time example and explanation. A pattern is a physical object or an abstract notion while talking about the classes of animals. A description of an animal would be a pattern. While talking about various types of balls, then a description of a ball is a pattern. In this case, ball considered as pattern, the classes could be football, cricket ball, table tennis ball, etc. Given a new pattern, the class of pattern is to be determined. The choice of attributes and representation of pattern is a very important step in pattern classification. A good representation is one which makes use of discriminating attributes and also reduce the computational burden in pattern classification. Suppose you have given the pattern of balls, but you cannot identify which type of balls you have given. Suppose if you have given a pattern of football ball and you have to given the image of system to cricket ball, then it cannot be recognized that this is a ball because you have given a data of a photo. You have to create a model which only identify the size of football, and you have given a ball, ball. This is like a cricket ball, so this is not recognize. So an obvious representation of pattern will be a vector. So each element of a vector can represent one attribute of the pattern. The first element of the vector will contain the value of the first attribute for the pattern being considered. So while representing spherical object, 25 and 1 may be represented as a spherical object with 25 units of weight and 1 unit diameter. The class level can form a part of the vector. If a spherical object belongs to class 1, the vector would be 25, 1, 1, where the first element represents the weight of the object, the second element the diameter of the object, and the third element represents the class of the object. And the advantage of pattern recognition solves the classification problem. Pattern recognition solves the problem of fake biometric detection, is useful for cloth pattern recognition for visually impaired blind people. It helps in speaker diarization, and we can recognize particular object from different angles. Thank you.